Okay.
Okay, we are good.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order. I'm going to do a roll call of commission members. After I say your name, please reply here or present and confirm that you can hear and see me. We're going to start with Commissioner Hughes.
Present, I can see and hear you.
Thank you. Commissioner Osman.
Present, I can see and hear you.
Thank you. Commissioner Jakovic.
Present, I can hear and see you.
Thank you. Commissioner Wong.
Present, I can see and hear you.
Thank you. I think I got everyone. So last year, Governor Pritzker signed the Public Act 1010640, making certain amendments to the Open Meetings Act, so that we, along with other boards and commissions, can continue to host virtual meetings during this COVID-19 public health emergency, provided that certain conditions are met. One of those conditions is that Chairman Wong, as head of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks, determined that an in-person meeting of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks and its Permit Review Committee are not practical or prudent. I want to make sure our virtual meeting meets all the conditions of the Open Meetings Act as amended. Therefore, Chairman Wong is making a determination pursuant to Section 7E2 of the Open Meetings Act that an in-person meeting of this Commission on Chicago Landmarks and its Permit Review Committee is not practical or prudent. Similarly, he's also making a determination pursuant to Section 7E5 that because of the disaster as declared by the governor, it is unfeasible for at least one member of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks or its chief administrative officer or its chief legal officer to be physically present at the meeting place for either meeting, inasmuch as there is no physical meeting place. Pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Commission on Landmarks on June 4th, 2020, regarding the chairman's emergency rule making powers, the commission chairman issued emergency rules governing the conduct of remote public commission meetings and provisions for remote public participation effective January 19, 2021. These rules were posted on the Commission's website. In line with these emergency rules, today's regular Permit Review Committee meeting is a virtual meeting being simulcast to the general public via live streaming. Permit Review Committee meetings have been held virtually since May of last year, 2020. Meetings are structured to minimize the chances for technical difficulties. Members of the general public have been encouraged to submit written statements in advance of the meeting, and any received have been posted on the Commission's website and are available for public view during the virtual meeting at www.chicago.gov/CCL. Members of the public desiring to speak at today's meeting were required to register before the meeting. Applicants and their representatives, as well as aldermen, were asked to contact staff if they desire to speak, and they will be able to do so after the staff presentation on a specific project. For today's meeting, no one has registered to speak on any of the agenda items, so we will now go through the agenda. So I'm moving to the first item, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Our last meeting was on January 7th of 2021. Commissioners, as a reminder, when you wish to speak, make a motion or a second motion, please press the raise hand function on the panelist window at the right side of your screen, and I will be able to call upon you if I'm able to manage all this technology on my side. I like to request a motion to approve the minutes of the January 7th, 2021 meeting.
So moved.
Commissioner Hughes has made a
Second.
motion.
Second, Commissioner Wong.
Commissioner Wong has seconded the motion. Now, I would like to take a roll call on the motion. So Commissioner Osman,
Yes.
Commissioner Jakovic,
Yes.
the motion carries unanimously. The minutes will be, and I vote yes. I forget myself. I don't want to forget myself. The motion carries unanimously. The minutes will be posted on the commission's website. Okay, so we're moving to the first agenda item. The property located at 2140 West Evergreen. Give me a second here. Located on the 2nd Ward, Wicker Park District. I'm gonna call on this one Lawrence for presentation.
Thank you, Chairman. The Wicker Park District was designated in 1991 and includes excellent examples of residential architecture constructed in popular styles between 1870 and 1900. The current proposal for a new 3-unit masonry building on a vacant lot was received as a building permit. Corrections were issued, and upon receiving a complete submittal, the item was placed on the current PRC agenda for consideration. The subject lot is 26.5 feet wide and approximately 160 feet deep. It is currently vacant except for a non-historic 1-story garage at the rear, which is proposed to be demolished. The applicant proposes to construct a 3.5-story masonry building with a roof deck and a detached 4-car garage with alley access. This is a mid-block property with an alley on the west property line. The proposed new structure has a west side yard along the alley of 1 foot, and an east side yard of 3.5 feet. Historic side yards on the block range between 0 and 10 feet, so the proposed side yards are compatible. Established front yard setbacks range between 10 feet and 32 feet, and the proposed front yard setback of this new building is 15 feet, which is also within the historic range. There are a variety of building types on the block, ranging from 2.5-story gable front cottages to raised 3-story flat-roofed masonry buildings. Established heights are from 30 feet to 45 feet. The height of the proposed building is 43 feet 8 inches, which is within that range. Similarly, the proposed stoop height is 5 feet 8 inches, also compatible with historic stoop heights on that block. The design of the new building relates to the historic characteristics of the Italianate-style multifamily buildings found within the district. It includes a front bay with a projection of about 2 foot 8 inches, a raised entrance with a straight run stair leading to a landing with 2 entrance doors, and a detailed cornice. The windows on the bay incorporate large fixed pane windows flanked with operable double hung windows and transom windows above. Above the entrance are gang double hung windows, also with transoms. All window and door details shall be submitted with the permit plans. A roof deck, which is accessed through a stair enclosure with a sloping roof to better minimize its visibility, is proposed atop the building. The stair enclosure projects 5 feet above the parapet on the east elevation and is set back approximately 35 feet from the front facade. The height of the parapet will eliminate the need for safety railings for that roof deck. Staff recommends that that rooftop enclosure have a dark, non-reflective cladding or color to better minimize its visibility. The proposed roof deck on the detached garage will also not require visible safety railings due to the height of its parapet. Standard size face brick is proposed for the front facade, which wraps 18 feet around the east elevation before changing to a matching utility size brick. And on that east elevation, you can see sort of a dividing line between the standard size and the utility size brick. That standard size brick is proposed to wrap 26 feet around the west alley elevation, and the remaining elevations are proposed to be utility size brick of the same color and texture. The depth of these brick returns are consistent with previous approvals of the Commission for infill construction along an alley. The new building is proposed to be clad in a dark red brick with matching mortar and gray Indiana limestone for lintels, sills, and water tables. These materials are compatible with those found historically in that district. They propose to utilize aluminum windows with bronze cladding. The proposed cornice is aluminum with a dark gray color, and they've provided some details and material samples in that exhibit on the upper right. Next slide is just elevations of the garage in case anybody wanted to see that. Following slide is just our recommendations, which I touched upon in my presentation, so I won't read them again unless you want me to. And I do want to mention that you have a letter of support from the community group as well as the Alderman's office in your packet. That's it for my presentation. If you have any questions, I believe the architect is also on the call if you have questions for them.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much. Does any of the commissioners have a question for Larry at this moment? Okay. I don't see any hands. Okay. Now we'd like to hear from the applicant or their representative. Are they here?
Yeah, this is John Hanna. I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Could you introduce yourself for the record?
Sure. I'm John Hanna. I'm architect. My firm name is Hanna Architects Inc., and we're located at 180 West Washington in Chicago.
Thank you. Did the commissioners have any questions for the architect, the project architect?
Yeah, actually, John, this is this project that you're taking on is that your hand drawn?
It's one of my guys here. It's a beautiful drawing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That's some pretty old school stuff.
Hands down compared to computer drawings. I love it.
Well, thank you very much. No, it's I think it works. This time of COVID has impacted us all.
Yeah.
I do have a question and more of our curiosity, and maybe this is first for Larry, but you can also, Mr. Hanna can help us a little bit better to understand. This is a property that it's facing, the side of the property is facing an alley. Traditionally, you would not have, Larry, is it possible to put on the screen the one visual that represents that view from, I guess, the corner? So
The rendering.
correct. So people understand and the public understand what I'm talking. There you go. So yeah, if you want to give us a little bit more about the decision on the brick application on the siding, on the side of the property that is facing the alley, you can. It's very interesting to see it next to the property just to the right that it has the exposed brick. So the change of material, if you just want to comment a little bit further on that decision of wrapping the entire side of the building, which I think looks.
Well, so I guess what you're wondering whether is why we didn't do common brick on the side. Is that correct? Is that what you're?
Yeah, your choice of not doing the common brick and doing the.
Right. So we just thought it was better to make it look all like it's new brick and not make it look like an old building, although the front of the building certainly looks very Wicker Parky. It was just our decision to do it this way. That's all.
Thank you. Commissioners, any other comments, concerns, questions?
Sorry, I had my hand raised in the
Oh, I'm
comments.
sorry. Okay, I'm gonna, thank
It's
you.
okay.
Commissioner
okay.
Hughes, please bear with me. Apologies.
Yes, no,
Please
you're
go
fine.
ahead.
I just want to express an appreciation for, I really love this cornice profile. I think it's very bold, and in a lot of, newer or buildings that are being restored, the cornice is always like the headache, right? And I feel like you guys are really celebrating and elevating it here. And then the common brick to wrap the entire building it's bold, and I know it's way more expensive to do that. And so I'm just expressing an appreciation for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't see any other hands raised. Now I have that visual open. If there are no other questions, I would like to call on commission members to make a motion to
I
approve.
motion us to approve the staff recommendations for this one.
Thank you, Commissioner Cox. Sorry, Commissioner Hughes. Can I ask for a second motion?
Second by Commissioner Jacobs.
Thank you. Commissioner Jakovich has seconded the motion. Now I would like to take a vote on the motion. I'm going to do a roll call. Commissioner Osmond.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Wong.
yes,
And I vote yes. So the motion carries unanimously. Please let the record show that the motion was approved unanimously. Thank you, Larry. We're going to move to our second item of the agenda. 952 West Fulton Market on the 27th Ward, the Fulton Randolph Market District. I would like to call on Joyce Ramos for this presentation.
Thank you, Chairwoman Aguirre. This two-story masonry mercantile building was constructed in 1921. Historic preservation staff has identified this building as a non-contributing building in the designation staff report. The exterior of the original building has been substantially altered prior to the designation of the district, which was in 2015. Based on permit records and photographs, the two street facades along Fulton Market and Morgan Streets were altered with enlarged storefront openings and new storefronts, removal of vehicular access doors, enlarged second floor window openings and new windows, construction of a taller masonry parapet, and other alterations. An existing rooftop addition was approved by the Permit Review Committee in January 2015 and currently accommodates an event space used year-long to host various events such as weddings, corporate events, and community meetings. The elevations of the existing addition are clad with metal panels and an operable glass wall system. The corrugated metal clad roof slopes down from the south to the north with an overhang that extends over the deck to the south. The committee approved this approval as visible additions are appropriate in this district and this project would not have an adverse impact on the property or the district. The applicant is now proposing to construct a one-story addition that is an extension of the previously approved rooftop addition. The proposed new addition is 65 feet wide by 28 feet deep and will accommodate a 3-season room located at the existing roof deck. It is set back 17 feet from the Fulton Market Street elevation and 17 foot 9 inches from the Morgan Street elevation. The proposed setbacks exceed the minimum recommended setbacks of 15 feet from Fulton Market Street and 10 feet from Morgan Street, as described in the Fulton Randolph Market District guidelines. The addition will be enclosed by a lean-to motorized retractable roof and wall system. The elevations and roof consist of clear glass with a bronze anodized aluminum framing. The proposed roof will be attached to the entire length of the existing roof overhang of the first addition and slopes down towards the front of the building, as you can see in the section drawing on the bottom right of this slide. The front elevation seen here at the top right consists of 10 bays approximately 80 inches wide. And as the elevation progresses further out from the center, the height of each bay decreases by approximately 7 inches in order for the panels to retract underneath each other. When the enclosure is in the open positions, the panels will be shifted to both the west and east ends of the proposed 3-season room. The highest point of the new addition is proposed to be 14 foot 4 inches above the roof deck and will not exceed the height of the existing addition. The intent of the enclosure is to extend the use of the existing 3rd floor roof deck event space in cold and inclement weather, as well as to provide comfortable protection from wind year round. There'll be no change in use and no change in occupancy. Examples of this operable enclosure system are shown in the photos on the bottom left of the screen. To better understand the visibility of the proposed rooftop enclosure, staff requested that the applicant provide perspective views from various points along the public way. As you can see from these renderings, the rooftop elements are visible from Fulton Market and Morgan Street. The commission encourages excellence in contemporary design that does not imitate, but rather complements existing architectural and environmental characteristics of the subject property or district. The overall scale, location, and materials of the proposed addition is consistent with the Fulton Randolph Market District guidelines and is positioned on the roof to minimize its visibility from the public rights of way. Staff recommends that the committee find that the project meets the criteria set forth in the commission's rules and regulations and the commission's guidelines for alterations to historic buildings and new construction. Therefore, the project will not have an adverse effect on the significant historical and architectural features of the landmark district and approve the project as submitted. Alderman Burnett issued an aldermanic acknowledgement letter stating that he has no objection to the proposal, and the West Loop Community Organization also submitted a letter of recommendation. These letters were included in the packet. The architect, Jonathan Splitt, and the property owner, James Geyer, are here. And that concludes my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Joyce or the staff at this moment? Okay, I don't see, hold on. I don't see any hands, not in the list, not physical, okay. I would like to hear from the applicant and their representatives. Are they here in the virtual room?
James, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Hello, sir. Can you say your name again and for the record?
James Geyer, I'm the owner of the building, the applicant.
Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add to this presentation for commissioners' knowledge?
Joyce did a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you to the entire committee for hearing this. I've been an owner of this property for almost 12 years. Local Chicago businessman owning a number of businesses for 35 years. I take my property ownership and development and position on this corner in this neighborhood, this wonderful neighborhood, very important. I've lived through what it was, what it's turning into, and happily being somebody who's trying to make a wonderful difference for the neighborhood and stay within the guidelines of what the city hopes we should be doing. So thank you very much for hearing us. I appreciate the support I've had all along. From the aldermen, from the community organizations, and the neighborhood as a whole.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, have any questions for the owner? The architect, I think the architects are also present.
Commissioner Gary, I had a real quick question to Mr. Geyer. What is the use of that, of the rooftop, the retractable roof?
Just consistent with what Joyce had said, we stage all kinds of events and to make it more usable, 3 seasons year round. So many different types of events, weddings, social events, philanthropic events. So it's really the protection of the space and the ability to allow us to use it year round. Very limited with the Chicago weather and as Joyce said, wind and rain and things like that. Want to guarantee, make sure people's events are intact, great experience. So it's a big investment, something I contemplated a while ago, but wanted to make sure that the property, the business is an important part of the growth and the thriving nature of the neighborhood. It's a beautiful view. The building is here, the events business is here to allow anybody to come and have a wonderful time, wonderful event, and enjoy this neighborhood.
Thank you. No, I was, they just put up one in the South Loop for the Roots Pizza, and it has been phenomenally successful in keeping that business open during this pandemic. And I think there's another one in Greektown that has been very successul. One of the Greek restaurants.
One right across the street from McCormick Place as well. I think the reference image that Joyce had. And they're beautiful elements, and architecturally they work very well. Nice advancement, but truly allowing businesses to have a much better opportunity here in the city of Chicago, where it's currently snowing on the corner of Fulton, Morgan.
Right.
In the window.
Thank you.
There's Google right there. Snowing.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. I just have a question out of curiosity. What is the material for the envelope? It's not glass, it's some form of acrylic, I'm assuming. I'm just curious.
It's glass on the sides, polycarbonate on the top. So it's a semi-tinted polycarbonate on the top to keep some sun reflection down. We have a wonderful south exposure, but it's all tempered glass around the perimeter.
And again, just for curiosity, high level, and we can also invite the architects to chime in here. What is the attachment technique? Is it just it's a regular structure and it gets bolted into?
It's structural, yeah. There's major structural enhancements we're doing both on the frame of the existing penthouse and then around the perimeter. The structure that we had put in originally when we raised the parapets and created that third level was in anticipation of being able to support it. So we are adding some structural bracing in appropriate areas that work with all the engineering that's required. But it is, becoming a structural part of the building, a permanent physical attachment to the building.
Thank you. I also agree with Commissioner Wong. There's not enough rooftop spaces in Chicago, so we're welcome any opportunity that we get to visit a roof, and especially now where there's very limited options due to pandemic considerations. Okay. Any other questions, commissioners, either for the owner, architect, or the staff? Well, if there's no other questions, I would like to call for a motion to accept the staff recommendations.
I move to accept the staff recommendations.
Commissioner Osman has made a motion. Can I get a second?
I will second that motion. Commissioner Jakovich.
Commissioner Jakovic has seconded the motion. Now I'm going to do a roll call for the vote. Commissioner Hughes.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Wong.
Yes.
And myself, Commissioner Aguirre, yes as well. The motion carries unanimously. And that was it, folks. That was 2 items in the agenda. Being there.
Thank you, guys. I hope to see you all again soon on another wonderful project. I believe you guys do great work. I am truly a proud Chicago citizen, business owner. I take a lot of great pride in this corner and seeing greatness for the city. So You guys do great work. Thank you very much.
Thank
Just
you,
wanted
Mr.
to say
Thank
that.
you. Thank you, Mr. Geiner. Thank you. Well, that was our second item. I guess I'll move us into adjournment. That was good for my first
Right.
meeting.
Congratulations,
as chairperson,
Commissioner
thank you.
Aguirre.
Congratulations.
Great job.
You did good.
I appreciate you all coming forward. With no further business, I'd like to request a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Yeah.
Second, aye.
Thank you, everyone.
you.
We are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, please
Thank you.
stay safe, everybody. It's going to get
Come
cold
and visit
tonight.
us.
Be safe.
Come and
please.
visit us on the corner of Fulton and Morgan.
We will.
Take care.
Will
Can't-
do.
Bye-bye.
Can't wait. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
It's going to get cold, so be